Your tomato plants are turning yellow. Your peppers look weak. Your cucumbers are growing slow. And then someone tells you, just pour rice water on it. But does rice water actually help plants grow? Or can it cause more problems in your garden? A lot of gardeners are using rice water as a natural fertilizer, but most people are using it the wrong way. Some pour it on every plant and expect a miracle. Today I'll show you what rice water can do for your plants, when it helps, when it can hurt, and the 3 mistakes you must avoid before using it in your garden. Stay with me till the end, because mistake number 3 is very important and you don't want to miss it. Rice water is not magic, but if you use it the right way, it will help your soil and your plants grow better. Before we start, drop a comment right now telling me what country you're watching from. I want to see every single location in this community. I post simple tips like this every week. Subscribe so you won't miss out. Let's get into it. First, let's be clear about what rice water actually is and what it isn't. When you rinse raw, uncooked rice before cooking, the water turns cloudy white. That cloudiness is mostly starch, but it also contains small amounts of nutrients that wash off the rice grain. Rice water has trace amounts of B vitamins, B1, B2, B3, and B6. Very small amounts of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Some amino acids. But here's the critical point. These nutrients are in tiny concentrations. Rice water is not plant food. It's supplemental at best. The starch can feed beneficial soil bacteria. These bacteria help break down organic matter in your soil. But starch is not a substitute for actual compost or fertilizer. Rice water is not a complete fertilizer. It's not a replacement for compost or balanced fertilizers. It's a very mild supplement that might help soil biology if used correctly and lightly. A 2019 study in applied microbiology and biotechnology found that fermented plant-based solutions can increase beneficial bacterial colonies in soil. These bacteria may improve how roots absorb nutrients. Overusing rice water can cause problems. The starch can create anaerobic conditions in soil if applied too frequently. The acidity from fermentation can disrupt soil pH if used too strong. Rice water is something you use lightly and occasionally, not as your main fertilization strategy. Mistake number 1 is using rice water too strong without diluting it properly. This is the most common mistake, and it causes real problems. When people rinse rice and pour that cloudy water directly on plants, they're applying a concentrated starchy solution. If you do this repeatedly, you're coating soil particles with starch. This can gum up soil pores, reduce oxygen availability, and create conditions where harmful bacteria thrive instead of beneficial bacteria. If you ferment rice water, the fermentation produces organic acids. The pH drops to around 4 to 4.5. Pour this directly on soil, and you shock plant roots. The sudden pH change damages fine root hairs. If you're going to use rice water, dilute it significantly. The ratio that prevents problems is 1 part rice water to 10 parts plain water. For every cup of rice water, add 10 cups of plain water. And use this diluted solution only once every 2 weeks maximum. Not weekly. Not every watering. Every 2 weeks. Rice water is not your main watering routine. It's an occasional supplement you use lightly. The soil needs time to process the starch. Frequent applications overwhelm the soil. You end up with more harm than benefit. This is especially critical for container plants. The starch builds up faster in containers. If you use rice water on container plants, dilute it even more. 1 to 15 ratio. And use it only once a month. If you've been pouring concentrated rice water on plants and wondering why they're not thriving, hit that subscribe button. This channel gives you the truth about what works and what causes problems. Mistake number 2 is fermenting rice water too long until it becomes rotten instead of fermented. There's a difference between beneficial fermentation and putrefaction. Some gardening videos tell you to ferment rice water for faster plant growth. Light fermentation for 24 to 48 hours can increase beneficial bacteria, but many people ferment rice water for 5 days, 7 days, even 2 weeks. By that point, it's not fermenting. It's rotting. The smell becomes putrid. The bacterial balance shifts from beneficial to harmful. The solution can damage plant roots instead of helping them. If you choose to ferment rice water, do it for 24 to 48 hours maximum. You should notice a slightly sour smell, similar to yogurt. If it smells rotten, like garbage, it's gone too far. Throw it out. Honestly, for most gardeners, skip fermentation entirely. Just use fresh rice water, diluted properly. The benefits of fermentation are small, and the risk of over-fermenting is real. If you make rice water and don't use it immediately, store it in the refrigerator for up to 3 days maximum. Either use it fresh or refrigerate it. Otherwise, you're creating a bacterial soup that can harm your garden. Mistake number 3 is the biggest one. Using rice water as your main fertilization strategy and expecting it to replace compost, balanced fertilizer, and proper soil nutrition. It can't. Let's talk numbers. A balanced vegetable fertilizer might be 555 NPK. Rice water contains roughly 0.01 to 0.05% of these nutrients. That's 50 to 500 times weaker than actual fertilizer. Your tomato plant turning yellow? It needs nitrogen. Rice water provides almost none. You cannot feed a tomato plant with rice water. You need actual fertilizer or rich compost. Your peppers looking weak? They need balanced nutrition, plus calcium and magnesium. Rice water doesn't provide these in meaningful amounts. Weak peppers need compost, balanced fertilizer, and possibly lime for calcium. Your cucumbers growing slow? They're heavy feeders needing consistent nitrogen and water. Slow cucumbers need compost, fertilizer, and regular deep watering. Rice water used lightly might help soil microbes a tiny bit, but it's not the solution to slow growth. Here's the hierarchy of what actually feeds plants. First, good soil with organic matter and compost. Second, balanced fertilizer appropriate for your crops. Third, proper watering and mulching. Rice water is somewhere down at number 10 on the list. It's optional. It's supplemental. Some people stop using fertilizer and compost because they think rice water is enough. Their plants suffer. Growth slows. Yields drop. They're starving their garden by relying on a weak supplement instead of real nutrition. Type nutrition if you understand rice water is a supplement, not a replacement for real plant food. So when might rice water actually be useful? In very specific, limited situations. Recently transplanted seedlings suffering from transplant shock. The small amount of B1 vitamin in diluted rice water might help root recovery slightly. Use it once at transplanting, diluted 1 to 10. Then switch back to normal watering. Soil that's been heavily compacted and has very poor bacterial activity. Diluted rice water used occasionally over months might help rebuild some beneficial bacteria. But you also need to add compost and organic matter. If you cook rice regularly and would otherwise throw away the rinse water, using it lightly and diluted on outdoor plants is reasonable. Dilute it properly, use it occasionally, and it might provide some benefits without harm. Just don't expect miracles. Don't use rice water on seedlings under 2 weeks old. Don't use it on succulents or cacti. They prefer low nutrient conditions. Don't use it on plants showing nutrient deficiency symptoms. They need real fertilizer. Does rice water actually work? Not the way people claim. Does it feed soil bacteria? Yes, it can feed some soil bacteria, a little. Does it provide nutrients? Yes, it has nutrients, technically. Does it replace fertilizer or compost? Absolutely not. Does it cause 3 times faster growth? No, that's not true at all. Use rice water if you understand it's a very minor supplement. If you cook rice regularly and want to use wastewater. If you dilute it properly and use it lightly. Maybe once or twice a month. If you're already providing good soil, compost, and proper fertilization, Skip rice water if you're looking for a fertilizer replacement. If you want dramatic growth results. If your plants have nutrient deficiencies. Is your soil rich with compost? Are you fertilizing appropriately? Are you watering consistently? If the answer to any of these is no, fix those first. They matter 100 times more than rice water. Rice water may feed soil microbes and add small nutrients, but don't overuse it. Use it lightly, and don't treat it like a replacement for compost, balanced fertilizer, or good watering. That's the truth internet videos won't tell you. Your yellow tomatoes need nitrogen fertilizer. Your weak peppers need balanced nutrition and calcium. Your slow cucumbers need compost and consistent water. Rice water won't fix any of these problems. Proper soil preparation, appropriate fertilization, and good watering practices will. So let's settle the debate in the comment section. Have you actually tried rice water on your plants? Did it give you that miracle growth everyone talks about? Or did it just cause mold and attract gnats? Be honest, which mistake were you making? Using it too strong? Fermenting it until it rotted? Or expecting it to replace real fertilizer? Drop a comment right now. I want to know the truth about what's happening in your garden. And if you want gardening advice that prioritizes real results over internet trends, hit that subscribe button. Rice water isn't magic. Good soil is. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.